All right, just finished my 2 miles. Let me see what the time is. In about an hour. That's actually way less than what I did last time. It was like an hour 45, so 45 minutes faster. That's good news for me. In other news, I feel like since my mind is a little clearer, I want to kind of talk about this in this video. Specifically, when it comes to the crypto markets, right? I've noticed that obviously, I keep coming to the same conclusion. The crypto market currently is very cannibalistic, very parasitic. It's too many bad actors in too little a space, and it's very strange because this whole thing started with, essentially Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the initial. It was the initial thesis to decentralized markets and decentralized currency. It somehow wound up being both in the early stages, but as time went on, other assets entered the class, and it eventually became a very lucrative market. It became it became reputable. It was challenging. It was challenging traditional finance, etc. But it still has its growing pains. It's got its issues. And one thing one point I want to make very before I end this video is that a market needs investors. It needs buyers and sellers to. It needs that volume to improve prices, improve reputation, make it a mature asset class. And if the market continues as it's going without regulation, if we don't govern ourselves, it's not going to be governed by anybody else but the SEC, but the traditional finance institutions that once they get their foothold into things, they essentially it's very one-sided. It's very it's the biggest investors get all of the concern and all the benefit, and everybody else is left out. And it makes it difficult to enter markets because, especially when they establish these minimum entry prices or these minimum investment this minimum investment capital, and it leaves everybody else out who doesn't reach those standards. And like I said, in order to have a lucrative market, a market that has liquidity, you need buyers and sellers. And every single scam that happens, it takes viable investors out of the market, and it continues to push all the market capitalization into Bitcoin, Ethereum, like maybe the top 5. That's at best, and it keeps a lot of the projects from reaching their potential that keeps them as viable competitors and viable assets in the class. For example, that's like my only example, but Helium is currently it grew from individuals hosting routers in their homes to now an entire mobile network. It's probably one of the most incredible growths that I've ever seen in the crypto market. I mean, even outside, right after Ethereum, Ethereum was very surprising because it was crowdfunded on, I think it was Kickstarter, and it was like just a few pennies, and then it became the layer 2 chain solution right after Bitcoin. And it essentially wiped any other competition out at that time, and it proved that a viable asset, that cryptocurrency is a viable asset class. It's not immature, and it is a possibility for investors to make profits and to have long-term investments, a long-term investment solution outside of stocks and bonds.